My sister, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm
Happy
wonderful.
New Year.
Oh, life changing.
Is it a good thing?
Oh
A bad
yeah.
thing?
Oh, it's a bananas thing. Oh yeah, just life
That's good.
changing.
Very nice.
Yep, life changing. It's always going to have its challenges. You know, um, all at the same time while I'm working on trying to really change the future for our community, etc. While I'm out here in these streets doing what needs to be done, the challenges still exist, and I'm not gonna listen to them because God's purpose for this is greater than anything that than the enemy will put before me. So I'm very, very thankful for the blessings that were bestowed on me this week, and the blessings to come are going to be incredible. Anyway, just welcoming some folks into the room. What's going on, Sam, Brittany, Nikita? How you guys doing?
Hi, everybody.
Absolutely. So, thank you guys for coming through. For those who it may be new, this is a safe space where we're going to really talk about crypto basics. My name is Hope Smallin, and we're not going to wait too long. We're going to get started here in really just moments. Just want to ping a couple people in the room. If you see anybody else that need to come in, please invite them in. Got a couple nice young men that I'm going to hopefully bring to the stage. I got a blockchain developer that should be passing through tonight. And young man was introduced to me this afternoon by one of my major community connections here in New York, and someone who really loves to change the lives of young people. So I'm always happy to connect with good people and do good things. And I can't wait to talk with him about his contract. I looked at his contract. The guy wanted him to build out a whole blockchain for no money, man. I'm like, what is this? So I got to mentor the young man and really let him know what's going on. So you're gonna hear a little bit of that. We won't embarrass him, but we'll definitely keep it as real as possible. Before we get into any major details, how was the week so far for you guys? Good. Good, good, good. I spent some time with a sister by the name of Ivorine. Her nickname is Ivy. I'm going to try to ping her in the room. Spent a good amount of time with her because, as you guys have seen, recently a lot of people, for whatever reason, these fraudsters are out here, trying to use my name and and do all kind of silliness. And so I invited her to come in and speak, and here she is. Um, without any further ado, Sister Ivy, how you doing? Let's give her a second to come up. I'm going to invite everybody to the stage to say hi. Trill, what's going on? Elijah, come up, brother. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, come on, you know it, man. I right before you came in, I was letting them know, there's a real sharp young man, a blockchain developer that I wanted to bring in, and really, just chop it up a little bit to see, what we can really, extrapolate from a basics room. But the basics room, in this room, we have some wonderful people who, are really just trying to, get off zero and really build their lives with cryptocurrency. As you already know, this is a chance to really change the whole game, not just a little bit of the game, the whole game, right? Um, so, Sister Ivy, thank you for joining.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm sorry for listening.
No, no, no. I saw it, but I'm happy that you did come to the stage. Wanted to just I'm going to circle back to you, Eli, in just a little bit. But I wanted to do, just to kind of get the room started a little bit, is just to kind of talk about what's happening in the markets and that kind of thing, so that we have a baseline. As you guys know, things are pretty static, right? There was no breakouts this week or anything like that. But just know, essentially where we are, we're just it's just a matter of time for the right spot ETF to launch, for the wall of money to really jump in. So, don't take it as a time to really sit on the sidelines. But as I shared even just yesterday with Sister Ivy, anything below 40 is a buy for Bitcoin for sure. And to be quite honest, this is still a buy, as all of you who are have been in this room before will understand. You know, the price for Bitcoin is not the main important piece. The important piece is the fact that it has a limited supply, and because it has a limited supply, this is going to be desirable. And because it's desirable, there's a lot of people who are trying to create fear of missing out for people, and and in that regard, people can get deceived if they don't have the right approaches and the right guidance in which to really approach it. So I want to just begin by just saying, this is a safe space, right? And I just want to really know that every week we come here at 7 o'clock and we start from the beginning. I really want everybody here to feel comfortable with asking. Really, there's no stupid questions, right? So we're going to start from the beginning, and the question why should I even get involved with cryptocurrency? If that question ever comes up, come back here, and we can always kick that question around. Last week, um, I sent out some free NFTs to everyone who was in the room. I'm going to do the same thing again tonight. Yep. I'm gonna do free NFTs to everybody in the room again tonight. Notice I'm not doing no clickbait at the top of the, I don't want people just coming in for free stuff. I want people who are coming in, who are interested in engaging in the conversation and really supporting this whole movement of getting our community into cryptocurrency. At the end, I'll share with you how to get your free NFT, but I usually just go from 7 to 8. This is just an hour room. But the purpose of it is just for everyone to have access to someone who really understands cryptocurrency, not in just the functional perspective, but I get really deep into the architecture. And I have so many wonderful projects on deck. We're going to be expanding mining through the Caribbean. I just made some real heavy political connections even this evening, with some wonderful folks who are going to give me some access to some new mining operations and things like that. On top of all of the good that happened this week, I got to tell you, I've been dealing with also these scammers who are trying to impersonate me in these streets. And the one thing that I wanted to do, and that's why I brought Sister Ivy to the stage, is just talk about it a little bit, because I want you guys to understand that cryptocurrency is so new, and because it's so new, people get taken advantage of. And I want you guys to understand that I'm here to support you, but I'm not going to be the guy who you're going to be able to connect with every day. So if there's anybody out here in these streets through Instagram trying to connect with you every day, that's not me. Right. And I'm not saying that I won't have a bot that won't say, buy this book, or attend this class. That's something different. But I'm not going to be the guy who gets on the phone with you every day and walks with you on how to set up simple stuff. I'm not that guy, right? I have clients right now. I have A-list clients, celebrities, hedge funds who will pay me to show them how to utilize cryptocurrency and expand their own, businesses. They're in the traditional finance markets, and they want to understand, why do all my clients want cryptocurrency? And I'm able to answer those questions with them, and I charge them a fee. I invoice them, right? My time is not free, but I give this hour free every week because it's my commitment. And I'm one of those commitment guys. I don't know how to stop commitment, right? So you'll always find me here Tuesday at 7. I don't care, what I'm doing. Even if I'm lying on the beach, I'm gonna be here at 7 every Tuesday. So that's my commitment to you. But what I wanted to also just share right now, we got Big Willie's in the room. What's going on? I see, my angel. I see Big Sean. What's going on? Yes. Thank you, Big Sean, man. Oh man, there's so much to catch up with you, man. After this call, well, actually not after this call, but a little later, I'm gonna have to circle back. Great stuff is happening, man. Yeah, we're about to really launch, and we want to give out those NFTs again tonight. But Sister Ivy, before we get started, Sister Ivy, and not to put you on blast, so just feel comfortable to talk a little bit. I want you to tell the people, because Sister Ivy got scammed by someone trying to impersonate me. So I brought her to the stage. I spent some time with her yesterday, and I'm bringing her to the stage because I want her to describe what this person was doing, and how she got taken advantage of. And again, not to put you on the spot, Sister Ivy, but just to protect everybody else, because I want everyone to know I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. That's not me, right? I like to promote independence. That's why I'll tell you to, come read my book, come read a chapter. Not that I won't connect with you if you have an emergency, but, I'm not going to be connecting with you every day. That's not going to be me. So, Sister Ivy, why don't you tell a little bit about the situation where someone impersonated me and they was connecting with you, and go ahead, break it down for them.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to speak, Holton. So yes, I heard of Holton speaking on Clubhouse last year sometime. I think it was around, I want to say around August, September, something like that. And so, I listen in on different rooms because I'm a novice. I don't know a lot about crypto. The most that I'm learning, I learned last night in a conversation with Hope on the phone. And so I tried to follow him, but I didn't click on the link in Clubhouse for his Instagram page at the time. I get, because sometimes I try to listen in and I'm working. And so you just try to write down the information and try to connect later. And so I went on Instagram to follow him, and I did. And I got a DM to, send my information or to set up a meeting with Calendly. I did that, but I had to cancel the first meeting because something came up. And I just really didn't get back to it, but I listened to different rooms on Clubhouse, just trying to learn. And I got a direct message on Instagram from this person. And he said, hey, how's it going? How's your investing going? And I said, not very well, because I don't know a lot. I'm a little nervous about it. I don't have money to waste, and so you're a little shaky about, investing in things if you don't have a lot. But I'm not afraid to step out and try and put a little something in it. And I did have a Coinbase account that I put something in, and I had a couple of crypto in there, just a little bit of money. And so he says, well, listen, I'm getting ready to start my next training. And, if you want help, I'll be happy to help you. He said, I'm looking out for our community. I want to help us to get a leg up, and here is the investment plan if you're interested. So he sent me something on Instagram, and it ranges from investing $500 to $5,000. And he, raved about how much of an expert he was. And if you, for example, if you invested $500, you can yield $5,250 in 5 days. Is what he said. And so he said, I need you to go to this website, which he sent me a link to. He said, I'm the account manager. I have experience. I'm also the one doing the training, so you can trust me. And so he said, set up a training account, and it was a website called, and I had to find it tonight because I knew I was going to speak, called Sector Auto Forex, and it's spelled SectorAutoForex. He said, I want you to go there and set up your account and at least start funding your account. And, I'm going to start a training in a couple of weeks, but just get started. And he said, did you have a Coinbase account? I said, yeah, actually I do. I said, I only got about $50, $60 in there, but I do have an account. And he said, really? And he says, well, why don't you transfer what you have in your Coinbase to this account? He said, and I said, well, how much does your services cost? Nothing. Don't send me anything. Let me help you to make some money. And as I'm helping you to make money, then you can begin to, pay me. But right now, let me help you get a leg up. And I'm like, It goes back to that saying, if something is too good to be true, it is. And so he was helping me on teaching me how to move money out of my account to this account that I had set up. And, I would send him a screenshot. He didn't have my password or anything like that. He was just showing me, hit that right there, and hit that right there, and move it there, and move it here, and move it there. And I did. And he only got me for about $60. But he said, I want you to see your money in the account so that you can believe that this is true, that I'm trustworthy. And so I could see, after I followed his instructions, I could see the money in the account. But then I started feeling funny. I don't know you from Adam. You started talking to me right away and grabbing me, and I was vulnerable and sharing my situation and what was going on. And he was eager to help me to get started with money. And I didn't even get a chance to even go really check the website out thoroughly, because he was pressed for time, but he wanted to get me started, So I just want to say to people, you got the website there that I shared with you. You can check it out, in your own time and take a look at it, but the scammers out here are very, very sophisticated, and they're coming off as though they really care about you, and I did ask a question too. I didn't get to tell you this last night, Holton, but I said, well, where are you calling from? And he says, that's not important. And that kind of threw me for a minute too. Why is that not important if you want to work with me?
That's right.
And so I started to say, this brother's a scammer. So I said, okay, I see the money in the account. Now send it back to me, because I'm not ready to do this just yet. I got a couple of other things to do. So I was just trying to wiggle my way back out of it. And he wouldn't send the money back. And so I knew, okay, he got me. He got me, And the communication was through WhatsApp. Now I have family who's out of the country, and so I do use WhatsApp for that. And then there's also other entrepreneurs on Clubhouse that use WhatsApp, and I had not had any problem with it. So this would have been the second time that I'm using WhatsApp for a resource on Clubhouse. And so that didn't throw me off at the time either. Until, I was talking about Luke last night, and he was sharing some things. So they're very sophisticated. They will play on your heartstrings and your situation. And even had this account where I saw my name and I saw the money there. But when I asked him for it back, he wouldn't send it. So it was his attitude and his character that now was coming into play that wasn't lining up with what he initially said he was trying to do, which is to help. So hopefully that will shed some light, the long and the short of it, shed some light on some people. We all can use a little bit more money, and so people know that, and they are playing on that. But if something is too good to be true, and you didn't have a chance to properly vet it and something is not quite right, whether you can put your finger on it or not.
And come back to this room and ask me directly. As I said, not everybody's going to be able to pay, an hourly fee to work with me. And I don't expect everybody to, because my goal is not to nickel and dime people. Trust me, I let hedge funds pay me. Why? Because they got money. So, hedge funds are going to pay me. My clients are going to pay me. And that's no problem. My students will pay me. That's no problem. But the bottom line is, I'm not going to be in these streets sending you to no website that has the name of Forex. You guys know I wrote the book, Don't Buy Beer with Bitcoin. And if you can see the title right at the top of the screen, don't get robbed or scammed to build generational wealth today. So these scammers, they see me because they see my profile, that kind of thing, and they think they can just copy me. But again, my message is consistent. So don't go to any websites that say Forex. Don't go to, anytime you see anything that says that you're going to make quick money, that's not my message. This is not a quick money message. Cryptocurrency is not about quick money. Now, let me give you guys a little anecdote, and I shared this with Sister Ivy last night. There's a young man that I was able to meet through some different associations. Wonderful man, and he is currently studying at college in Dubai right now. Wonderful young man, and what he was doing with crypto, he was treating crypto like stocks. And I see my brother David in the room? I don't see David now. But anyway, so David is the one who really connected us. And this young man is in Dubai. And, the thing that really impresses me about him is that he has a wonderful brain. Like, I want to market some of my stuff and things like that. And he has some wonderful ideas. So I'm trying to stay connected to him, mentor him, that kind of thing, keep him encouraged. The brother went from Africa to scholarship in Dubai. He's at university studying business. I'm all about that. And so he read my book, and the first impression he gave was, he said, I didn't understand Bitcoin before, but I understand it now. Right. So that was one of the best initial pieces of feedback that I could get, because, again, my goal is to really share with folks what is happening in these crypto streets, because things are about to change. I'm hearing rumors, and again, it's rumors because I'm hearing it secondhand from, counterparties. It's not a law yet, but there's going to be law that comes down that's going to really shake up DeFi. It's going to really shake up NFTs. So watch out, but it's coming. It's coming. And so I don't think it's going to destroy the NFT market at all. But I'm just letting you know that, when you're getting into cryptocurrency, when you're getting into crypto assets, you got to really understand what this is and what it isn't, right? So, everything except for Bitcoin, for the most part, and this is me generally speaking, can be shut down. Bitcoin cannot be shut down. Right now, it's it's definitely a technology, a disruptive force whose time has come, and it can't be copied, it can't be hacked, and it can't be shut down. And the blockchain is this immutable ledger that really will allow people, to have transparency that they never had before, right? So I love to run into these scammers in the streets, because when I run into them, I could track their transactions. No different than that couple that were trying to liquidate stolen assets. They were laundering stolen Bitcoin to the tune of billions, but they got caught because the blockchain is transparent. People who are trying to commit crime, using Bitcoin, really don't understand the technology. So, if you're going to commit crime with something that's super transparent, then, you have a challenge. And that's where anybody who calls me and talks nonsense to me about, trying to give me a bag of cash for cryptocurrency, I know that they're full of crap. Just like I shared last week, I'm not turning those corners with people. Some people are trying to launder money. I'm not into that. That's not what I do. My interest is to really expose my community. And when I say this, I'm very, very serious. And I'm happy to talk to people who are serious about the same thing. But this is not gambling. This is not get rich quick. You're not going to put 500 in today and it'll be 2,500 next week. When you see those numbers, know that something is wrong. And I'm not trying to say that cryptocurrency can't explode. Cryptocurrency, if you time it properly, there is going to be expansion. Bitcoin, for example, over the past 10 years have averaged about 200% appreciation every year. And people ask, will that happen this year? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think in fact, it might even go a little bit more than 200 this year because everything is getting set up. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing behind the scenes a lot of people, a lot of institutions looking to get exposure. And for many people, it doesn't make sense to see something at $44,000. Most people don't own cars that are more than $44,000 today, right? So when they look at a price of $44,000, they say, how can I get into this? Well, you got to understand, you need to dollar cost average. You need to stack your Satoshis, right? So the thing that is most important right now is to get into it, right? So as I calculated with Sister Ivy last night, if you want to buy 1,000,000 Satoshis right now because of the price, it's going to cost you maybe about $440, something like that. That's about 1,000,000 Satoshis, right? So the goal here is to get, stack your Satoshis. If personally, people say, how many Satoshis do I need? And what is a Satoshi? Of course, will be another question. So let me answer the second question first. A Satoshi is the basic form of a Bitcoin. So when we think about a Bitcoin, if there's only going to be 21 million of it and the price is high, how do we get exposure? Well, you get as much exposure as you can. So is that $20 a week? It depends on your budget. Is it $50 a week? Totally up to you. But you get exposure and you continue to stack that exposure until you have kind of a goal. Well, my projection, and you guys can hold me to it because over the next 10, 15 years, I'm going to be in these streets. Each Satoshi is going to head to $1 per Satoshi. Mark my words. So again, based upon that projection, I'm not a prophet. This is not financial advice. What I'm sharing with you is just numbers. And you guys know I taught economics a long time. I understand supply and demand. So when you have a limited supply of 21 million, right? And we're almost at 19 million now. Over the next 15 years, 20 years, as the supply gets exhausted, this becomes the next Picasso. That's why they call me the Black Picasso, because I'm telling you, I want every one of you guys to have one of these Picassos on your wall. You might not be able to get a Pablo Picasso, but you can get a Bitcoin Picasso. And let me give you the example in another way. And I shared this with Sister Ivy last night, and I think it landed. So I'm going to restate it, Sister Ivy. So imagine if I told you that there were only 21 million pennies in the world, and that a penny would increase to a dollar in the near future. What would you do? You would go start stacking all the bottles you have with pennies, because you knew that the pennies would eventually become dollars because they're rare, right? Now there's precious coins, there's collectibles, and all of them are rare in that same kind of way, and that's why collectibles have value, right? So it's the same thing with Bitcoin. And if you just like, and again, I quote Michael Saylor in this regard, if you want something that's going to protect you against inflation, it should be something desirable to the wealthy. And I'm telling you right now that Bitcoin is one of those apex assets that is super desirable to the wealthy, right? This is the closest you're going to get to a boat tail, Rolls Royce or a Rolls Royce Cullen is a Bitcoin, because it's all in the same vein. This is a very rare item, and you might not be able to own a whole one. That's fine. At least own 1,000,000 Satoshis, right? Because eventually, in the next 15, 20 years, that may end up to be close to $1,000,000. Now, I'm telling you guys now, and 15 years from now, sorry for that. 15 years from now, I want you guys to have the benefit of it, right? I can't go back in time, but I can definitely tell you right now that the best thing for you to do is to try and get in where you can fit in. And cryptocurrency is one of those things that it's so early, right? Another example here is, looking at, modern real estate around the world, right? And we look at, modern real estate, and the value in real estate is everywhere, right? And if you ask most people in your circles, I don't know who's in your circles, I don't know how many real estate owners are really in your circles, but in any economics class that I taught, I wanted to make sure that at least one person who was renting, by the end of the class, they are now homeowners. And every semester that I taught in college, that was the case. I was able to convert renters into homeowners, right? And that's the purpose of this room right now, this crypto basics room. I really want to have all of those that are ready for change, ready to get off zero, ready to you know, have some personal growth, to really achieve those goals. And you don't have to be a college graduate. You don't have to understand global economics. You don't have to understand, vector calculus or anything like that. A lot of people do. And those people are able to take advantages of some things that you might not be able to see in the marketplace, right? But this is one of those things where, for Bitcoin, it's one of those assets. You acquire it, you dollar cost average, you stack your satoshis using a safe a way to do it. And I recommend Swan Bitcoin because it's low cost, low fees. If you're interested and don't have access, I can give you a link that will give you like a $10 start to your Swan Bitcoin account. Just hit me on the back channel. I'm happy to do that. But it's very safe because the payment rails are built on Prime Trust. Prime Trust is one of those crypto payment trust banks that are out here to really try to protect the people. And in fact, the largest crypto exchange in the world, called Binance, uses Prime Trust for their payment rails. So if Binance, the largest crypto exchange, built Binance US using Prime Trust, you should do the same. And so Swan Bitcoin is one of those ways for you to get that level of exposure. So with that, I'm going to transfer the conversation. And this is still going to be a basics conversation, but I want to start interviewing this young man right now. You have a young man on the stage. This is a young man connected to one of the most honorable men in the world, in my opinion. And this is his nephew. So, he's honorable in my eyes. Brother Eli, thank you for coming through.
Thank you for the introduction. Appreciate it. Nice to meet everyone. My name is Elijah, and I am a blockchain developer. I've been in this game, I would say, as an enthusiast because I love technology since the 90s, and I was born in 1993. Pretty much my computer, so my mom got a computer, and I had this game on it called Tackle Jam, and then learned how to hit the source code about like around 8 years old, and didn't really know what I was doing until MySpace came out. But around the time when MySpace came out, I knew about cryptography and not cryptocurrency, but like just cryptography and how how to encode with different like hash algorithms and stuff. Those are something I was into. But after 2017 happened and Bitcoin hit like around 20,000, that's when I kind of was like, hold on, what's going on here? What's this currency thing? Because I knew about the benefits of having a ledger, having verifiable like pretty much transactions, like having a system in place to where the woman earlier spoke, when someone can kind of hack someone by just using their picture and their account information and steal money from people. It can be tracked as long as you follow the money trail. Eventually, someone that is paid to track that stuff, they will find it. I mean, that was the beauty of it for me. Just kind of seeing like how I can get involved, because I do love cybersecurity. I love the fact of how can we protect our financial infrastructure as I'm just gonna throw it out there, as Black Americans, because in a matter of where I came from, I didn't know anything about banking. My family didn't know anything about banking. They have been scammed, right? Friends and family have scammed each other, so it's like growing up into the ecosystem of understanding cryptography and like encryption and stuff. It's like once, I kind of like got, I would say scammed myself a few times, more than a few times. Just same exact scenario. It's like this blockchain thing. It's like I fell in love, and then it's like, well, how do I get involved? And back in 2017, I got involved by investing into Bitcoin. Right before it hit 20,000, but it was like around 17, and then I lost everything. But I didn't pull out because I knew about investing. I knew how kind of like as long as you don't trade it back to US dollars, you still own it. The value goes back up, you're gonna have it. And that was like another thing I loved about it. So it's like I'm just gonna just hold this out, wait a little bit, and it did kind of like go up a little bit, but then it dropped down even further, and it just kept going down. And I was like, let me just take the little money I do have and just take it out because I don't know what's going on. And then how the SEC started talking about taxing Bitcoin and blockchain or related currencies, and I was like, I don't know enough about this stuff. I'm going to take a step back and observe. So that's pretty much what I did about from 2017 to 2019. I just observed. I did buy a little bit of the tokens that were coming out on these different exchanges, but it was a matter of, okay, when can I get back involved? And the NFT space, I believe it was someone, I can't remember this person's name, but someone on TV was talking about the beauty of buying and selling artwork. And then that was something I was interested in because I went to an art show in California, just walking around in the streets, and then somebody was like, hey, what are you up to? And I literally just walked to a random person's house. Don't do that. Don't recommend that. But it was like, I saw the artwork on a picture. I was like, oh, you got a wine glass here. Let me see what's going on. And me and my fiance walked in, and it was a beautiful art show and really expensive art. And it was a very casual house, very small room. And I was just like, I wonder why this stuff, so like, why are people really paying this much money for this stuff? And I still says they don't understand it because I'm not an art collector. However, I do see the beauty in art. But when the NFC thing happened, like to my eyes, I would say I caught wind of it back in 2018. Right after Gary Vee kind of started talking about the CryptoPunks thing. That's kind of like I put two to two together. It's like, okay, this is going to be something people are going to invest in. I don't need to know why people are going to do it. I just need to know that if I put money into it, like a retirement account, and wait about 5 to 10 years, it'll be worth more because it's new and I'm an early adopter. And that's kind of like a very simple way I looked at that thing. And but not knowing enough about blockchain and how these NFTs are actually bought and purchased, I didn't buy it. I was just like, I was a little bit on the edge because at that time too, I was getting scammed a lot with Forex. People saying like, hey, invest into Bitcoin, invest into this Forex stuff. And I was doing it. I was cash apping people left and right, thousands of dollars down the drain, but it was a learning experience, and it was one that allowed me to take a few YouTube University classes from Free Code Camp and actually learn, it motivated me to learn actually how this blockchain transaction process was and what actually went into it, like, what it meant to like fork a node or fork Bitcoin, fork the Bitcoin node or create your own node. Like, I kind of like just immerse myself. I won't call myself an expert in a subject matter of blockchain overall, but I would say I have a lot of experience in it. And if you see me as an expert, I definitely appreciate that. But it's a matter of when I did get my grasp on, all right, I created a small version of, like I pretty much forked Bitcoin and just downloaded this to my computer and just played around with the code. I kind of got an understanding of what it was. And then Ethereum kind of like was like, hey, anybody want to start a business? You just got to learn how to develop Solidity smart contracts and add this as a payment processor on your business website. And, you can start getting some cryptocurrency as payment. And my eyes was like, oh, that's a simple way to just collect money from some business idea and invest and just hold on to it. Because, like, I was in school. It's a matter of me having the time freedom. I'm a minimalist as well, so I don't really look for like really really extravagant. I take a lot of trips, like I travel a lot, but because I find all the deals. That's why I travel a lot. I don't blow thousands of dollars on no hotels, something like that. It's just a matter of if the deal is there, I save it for later on and I book it. But that whole lifestyle allowed me to really kind of like learn. All right, what do I want to do with this, or find out what I want to do with this, and I would say about last year, it brought me to like I would say a very stagnant point with COVID ending, me not having a job. Like I was on unemployment for like the whole time of 2020. I worked at Geek Squad before it, but it was like I was working at Geek Squad learning technology from like a networking standpoint and like a system standpoint, just to understand like, okay, if you have a server, what makes sense to like, save my code on what certain, like how does that stuff work pretty much. But I was trying to figure out, and I thought, why not work at the company that always do stuff like this? But they don't do stuff like that. I thought they did, but they don't. Some of them do, but they don't. So like, it was just like me taking the time I had while not working at a job, like unemployment, and learning as much as I can. And then it got me to a point where I was in a lot of Facebook groups and forums answering questions, and people were just like, "Hey, Eli, can you actually help me with this? Can you help me with that? Help me with this?" And me just being a nice guy, I didn't charge people. I didn't do nothing. I was just like, "Yeah, this is what you do."
Eli, we gonna work on your fee schedule. Keep going. we gonna work on your fee schedule, brother. I'm just letting you know your numbers. We're gonna 10x you, brother. But go ahead, keep going.
No, for sure. I definitely appreciate that because that's what I don't charge. I don't charge because I don't have enough.
Brother, don't repeat that. You do charge.
As a matter of, but I did move into the realm of like I found myself valuable enough was because I literally just did little things on the side and I added my LinkedIn or I did things outside and I was trying to get a job by just adding to my resume and putting it on Indeed. And I've always done that and then resubmitted applications to companies that said you need 5 years experience, 10 years experience, and I was just like, if they hire me, it's great. I can get one of those nice jobs as a blockchain developer, make like $60,000-$70,000. But no one really they responded to my emails, but they're like, sorry, you have enough experience. Very recently, I had an opportunity to where just someone found my resume on Indeed. I was like, hey, are you interested in being a front end developer for this blockchain company? And I was like, sure. Like that sounds cool as shit. Like I would love to do that. Like it's what I've been learning all these little things on the side for. Like in my head, I was saying that, but like I took the opportunity, took the interview. They didn't choose me, but that gave me the confidence to now start talking to my friends about what I can do. Like I didn't really talk. Like I was in Facebook groups and on Clubhouse and posting on Twitter. Like you see my face now, but it's a matter of I didn't share anything with anybody about this crypto stuff because I was confident. But now it's like I just started talking for the past 6 months, and then opportunity after opportunity after opportunity just came in, and I've always, like I like investing. I like buying a holding though. I don't like the trading aspects of things. That's a little bit. I don't have the time, and I get stressed when I lose a lot of money. So it's like where I'm at now is I'm a blockchain developer for this company. Well, I asked pretty much just a friend of mine. I'm really helping him out, but I'm kind of moving into like a space where they want me to really manage a team or just bring my creative ideas to like help their company grow. So I have a blockchain developer for a company called Corbiz. Can't talk too much about it because they aren't really existing yet. They have a website. They don't have a wallet, nothing like that, but they plan to have all this stuff later on down the road. That's kind of what my role is just to use my experience, my creativity, and my vision on where this blockchain can go with for protecting people's security, allowing people to track transactions, to know where their money actually went. And if the government really get their stuff together, they actually can find a way to find that person faster than they usually take to do it. It's just my opinion, but they're probably working on it. But like that's just like I got my skin in the game now. Now I'm just trying to see where it's gonna go. I am open to anybody ever DM me, ask me questions. You got me on Instagram, have me on Twitter. If you want to, just talk about other stuff like from the past, about how to trade, why I don't trade, cryptocurrency, why I just kind of just buy and hold. I'm pretty sure Holton definitely probably explains the importance a lot about buying and holding, but it's just, I'm probably have a different perspective and know about other coins that maybe you haven't mentioned yet, or who knows. But yeah, definitely reach out. I'm a fast talker, so if I talk too fast, it's just definitely something to slow down. But yeah.
No, Eli. No, Eli. Thank you, bro. And for everyone in the room, we gotta really say kudos. I love to see young men from my community doing something positive. Right? There's Eli. Introduce you to my baby boy. My baby boy's on the stage. That's Lock 7. Lock 7. Say hi to Eli. What's up? Yeah. So Yeah, so yeah, very, very proud of you, Eli. You and I got a lot to discuss. I'm going to, really take you on some trips and show you some mining operations, and I got some plans for you, Eli, man. So just know that, your Uncle Hope is here. All right. No doubt. No, we have some stuff, man. I'm gonna tie into you, and I like the project that you're in, but I just want you to understand, brother, you worth much more than what you put on that paper. We're gonna circle back on that, and I'll talk with you about it. I like some of your back end deals, but you need some of this front end money too. But we'll talk about that. And yeah, for real. And but again, I want everyone to know that, and even if you didn't understand half of what Eli just spoke about, just be proud for this young man who is stepping out in faith, learning something new. He's a pioneer. And all of you are pioneers. Just for spending some time in the room with me right now, I'm really excited to, make sure that everyone in this room is ready to get off zero, at least get off zero. So what I'm going to be doing right now, I'm going to give away NFTs to everybody in this room. So if you want NFTs, certainly send me your wallet address, and for those of you who don't know, you can ask, but you want to make sure you give me a specific wallet address. I want your Ethereum wallets, and I want your Matic wallets, so your Polygon addresses, and make sure it's ERC20, and they usually are. But the bottom line is, you'll get it from a Trust wallet, you'll get it from a Coinbase wallet, or you can even get it from your Ledger wallet, and you can store these NFTs in any of those formats. All you got to do is send me your email address and your actual wallet address, and then I'll make sure you get a confirmation email. And if you don't find it or whatever, you can always email me, and I'll help you backtrack it. But usually, just give me a day, and I'll make sure that gets loaded and locked out to you. And so essentially, you're going to get one of the first NFTs from the Fire NFT collection. This Fire NFT collection is going to be worth something, guys. So just understand, you got one of the CEOs on the stage, Big Sean, who we got some plans for Fire NFT. Wait till you guys see some of these collections. They are on fire. It's all music NFTs, right? So I'll make sure that all of you guys get some of these first inaugural NFTs. Which one should we give out this week, Sean? Which one do you think? For some reason, I like the Lauryn Hill. Woo! Let's give them the Lauryn Hill. Yeah, you guys are going to get the Lauryn Hill inaugural. This is all original artwork owned by One Crown Entertainment. And I'm going to send them out free of charge to you guys, no strings attached. Yeah, you're going to love this one. This is one, and everyone that is being dispatched is original, right? You're not going to own the Genesis one. If you own the Genesis Lauryn Hill from the Fire NFT collection, I think it's worth about 600,000 today, right? And if anybody wants to buy that, it's available. The price is going to go up in a couple weeks. But what I'm sharing with you is you're going to have a copy, but it's an original derivative from the Lauryn Hill collection. So be proud of it when you get it. Big Sean gave the authorization, so everybody in the room is now an official owner of the first edition Lauryn Hill NFT. So I'm going to send that out to everybody again. Just send me a message in the back channel. I need your email address so you get your confirmation, and we'll make sure you get that. And you'll send me your Ethereum wallet, and also your Polygon wallet, because both of those will work differently, and I can send you different variations. All right. So that's that. I have a inaugural Black Picasso collection NFT drop coming too, so we'll talk about that. But maybe next week we'll talk about that. But essentially, very excited to have Brother Eli on the stage, and Eli, you're inspiration, inspirational, because you jumped right in, and the one thing about jumping right in, it's always scared to be a pioneer, because Just understand this, because I know this all about technology. Technology is going to change, right? Everything is going to change. And what's happening is that the cryptocurrency is fitting into society as we know it right now. And a lot of people, especially there's a lot of basic folks in the room right now that don't really understand, you know, where to start. And that's why I always say a good start is Bitcoin, and I'll tell you why. Um, it's desired by it's desirous by the rich. So if the rich want something, you want what the rich want. And I'll tell you that the money is going to be flowing into Bitcoin like nobody's business. They're starting to approve spot ETFs. Fidelity just launched one. And we'll spend some time at the beginning of next week talking about all the ETFs that are coming online. Understand that the spot ETFs are how big money are going to flow into Bitcoin. So what I'm sharing with you with that regard is, and this is something that, really show you how long I've been in the space. I've been mining Bitcoin since 2012. And I remember when I wrote a proposal for a banker back in 2012, and I wrote it and I handed it to them and I said, listen, you give me less than $100,000 and I'll show you how to set up a $50 million operation. They looked at me like with two heads. Eli, you think they take my phone call today? Yeah, I have some wonderful phone calls with bankers today, man. I'm partnered with a whole bunch of them, and and it's exciting just to kind of be right to land. I landed on the right side of the technology tracks, right? And so God has blessed me with that, the ability to have good sense about technology. And then also I have a good understanding of economics. So that's really what allows me to really promote Bitcoin as that apex asset. Now, everything else, all other 17,000 cryptocurrencies, right? I want you to know all of them fall into a very similar bucket. Now, either many of them are tokens. Now, the tokens, you got to be careful because not all tokens are created equal. And I want you to know that Ethereum is a flawed construct. You guys know it's flawed because if you tried to buy NFTs or you try to buy anything with Ethereum, you'll see that those gas fees make it very difficult to use it. Well, its flawed structure benefits those who are in the infrastructure collecting those fees, right? It doesn't benefit you as the consumer. So just understand the ERC20 token structure and all of the related smart contracts are all flawed. They're trying to correct it very slowly, very sure. I've seen a reduction in the fees recently. I don't know if any of you are out here doing any purchasing of anything with Ethereum, but I've seen the fee. They're trying to, burn it. I saw Vitalik Buterin talking about he wants to make the blocks bigger. I'm like, these are all patches. It's all nonsense. The architecture could be corrected, but if he really wanted to fix it, they really could fix it, but they like it being expensive. And from their vantage point, yes, it makes other competitors come in and say, just like AVAX and say, I got a cheaper network, or the Phantom network saying it's cheaper. But the bottom line here is that, people like Ethereum because it's the first. Some of the most expensive assets are on the Ethereum blockchain. So for that reason, it stands in a very unique position. Do I think that Ethereum will go down to zero? We'll see. Let's see how they fork ETH2 into the whole picture. It's going to be interesting to see what the future holds for Ethereum. There's a lot of other wonderful crypto technologies, and I love a lot of them. But how will regulation really change their future trajectories? We'll see. All we know is that as Bitcoin launches into six figures in 2022, all of the rest of the cryptocurrencies are going to get a little boost. All of a sudden, you're going to see everybody going up, everybody going up, everybody going up. And are they going up because their technology is improving or solving problems in the real world? Not necessarily. It's going up because many of them have backing built on Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? And because of that, their investments come in that way. as it appreciates, their prices go up, their values go up. So it's all interconnected. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, I want you guys to go to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. And as you go through this particular website, it's a website that allows you to kind of walk through all of the different cryptocurrencies. And it allows you to walk through the exchanges and different NFT projects. So as you're walking through the different coins, the coins will allow you to, understand, what each coin is made of, right? And when I say what it's made of, specifically in Coin Market Cap, and I'm going to walk through it right now, you're going to be able to see, the price. Now, price matters because how can you get exposure unless you can have the amount of money it takes to own one of those. And that's why I tell you guys the secret about Bitcoin is that the fact that a Satoshi is less than a penny. So stack your Satoshis and you get the exposure to Bitcoin in the same kind of way. Now, I realize I didn't clarify Satoshis earlier, so my bad. Satoshis are not a separate cryptocurrency. So a lot of people will make that mistake. It's just a Bitcoin. So it means that you're buying a fraction of a Bitcoin. So if you pay $50, essentially you're going to be able to buy $50 worth of Bitcoin, and it's breaking down into Satoshis. So a Satoshi is 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. So we'll break that down, and you can find out how much Satoshis you can buy for $50, and we can do that calculation and so on. But the goal is keep stacking that, because as it goes up, even though you don't own a whole one, at least own 1 million to 5 million Satoshis, or whatever you would like as your target price 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Just like brother was saying here in regards to what Eli was talking about. Long-term investing makes a lot of sense with Bitcoin. It doesn't make a lot of sense with many cryptocurrencies, right? And let me distinguish, make that last point, and then I'll wrap up the room. Understand that many cryptocurrencies are not really worth holding. And when you hold them, essentially what's happening is those projects are not sincere. They really are not trying to solve a problem. What they're doing is they're taking your money, and a lot of these young folks and some of these counterparties, again, nothing against international. My family's, from the Caribbean, so I'm not talking about them either. And of course, I'm descendant from Africa, so we're not talking about any of my brothers and sisters abroad. But many of these international counterparties they're not governed by countries that are really able to collect taxes from them the way that they should. So as a result of that, these folks are taking your money, they're pulling out most of it, and they're playing with it, right? So you don't want to put your money into a project that's not serious, right? Let me give you an example of one that I don't respect, and I'm just going to put it out on blast. Every week I try to show you guys what to avoid, and one of those projects is called Safe Moon, right? Now, I'm not going to get you all into all of the things that I know in their back end, but I know a lot of the folks connected to that project. I hear how those folks engage. And, if you've seen the decline in Safe Moon in recent months, very serious declines. It's because of how, their attitude towards money, their attitude towards, projects. These guys are, in the back end are really not long-term focused. So just one of the projects that I'm not really excited to throw any money at. I got a little bit of exposure and I just watched it just diminish. I'm not interested in holding any of those junk coins at all. There are some projects that I do think have a future. And those are the projects that I'll certainly get some exposure to, and I love exposure to giving myself exposure to projects that have smart leadership that really know how to build. Just like Brother Eli, when he starts announcing his project, we'll bring him back in coming weeks and months and check in on his project. He's bringing some major. He's going to bring some major fire to these streets. So I'm excited to have his someone at his level who's actually innovating in cryptocurrency, and bringing him right back to you guys, just so you can hear what someone in his position, who's bringing something to the public, really is faced with. So I'm excited to do that, and I look forward to giving you guys a live. We'll do a live, Tuesday meeting, and I'll do that from a mining operation in the Caribbean one of these coming days in the near future. Anyway, I got an invitation tonight from one of the heads of state, so I'll be taking one of those trips to South America to see what's going on, and possibly El Salvador and some other places. So stay tuned. And if you last invitation is anyone in here at the sound of my voice who's interested in getting that free NFT, just make sure you hit me on the back channel. I need your email address, your Ethereum, and give me your Polygon address as well, just so that I have those. And depending on the format of the NFT, I'll dispatch you a free NFT. Do it from your Ledger. If you use your Ledger Live address for either of those coins, and or your Trust wallet or your Coinbase wallet, I'll be able to get that right to you. Again, I'm happy to take any questions, and not going to hold you much longer, but just definitely want to see if there's anything that anyone wants to talk about.
I have a question, Hope. Thank you so much for tonight, by the way.
My pleasure.
Sorry about that. And for the NFTs as well.
Of course.
If I'm using my Ledger, I believe that some things like Matic is the Ethereum address.
Yes.
It looks like that.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's why I say both of them, because sometimes it doesn't make a difference, sometimes it makes a difference. And if you don't, and just so you guys know, you guys can see, if you guys go on to YouTube, I'm doing this live as well, just copying, I'm recording it live just so I have a copy of it. I'm wearing my BK Crypto shirt. Thank you, April, and the gang. BK Crypto in the house. Yeah, so that's that. Any other questions from anyone? Ivy, Sister Ivy, thank you so much for sharing. As just to reiterate, I'm not in these streets trying to spread no scams. I was shocked this week to see a third scammer literally copy the pictures of my family and friends, and you know what I mean? Yeah, copy my whole profile. They using my words. They try to talk like me. It's who knows? We might have a spy in these streets right now. But anyway. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right. But the thing about the scammers is that, again, they're not going to be true to the message. And if they out here trying to talk about, get rich quick and Forex, I don't spread none of that. Right? Not that Forex is not a real opportunity. Don't hear me wrong. But, Forex is not for the faint of heart. It's one of the largest investment markets in the entire universe. However, it's not for the faint of heart. And I know a lot of Forex offices overseas that are getting shut down because, again, many of them are not really into it to build investment portfolios of their clients. They're almost like rug pulls or Ponzi schemes where they're getting money in and nothing is really going out to people. So anyway, long story short, it's my pleasure. This is the Black Picasso. It's always a pleasure every Tuesday to spend a little time with you guys. Brother Eli, thank you for sewing, man. I'm gonna stay in touch with you. You and I are gonna really talk on those back channels, man. And Sister April, always a pleasure. Big Sean, we in this for the long term. Lock 7, baby boy, don't worry, help is on the way. I got some good news I'm about to share with you. Your daddy's on the way to 9 figures, so we'll talk soon. All right. Back channel for me and you is you got my phone number. That's how that back channel works. We're not going into the Discord. We don't need to do all that. We're not. No, I'm gonna give you a phone call, young man.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give you a phone call. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to you tonight because I have some outstanding business that's huge and gonna shake the bank account. So I need to close and process those things. We're in contract as we speak. I think they're signing LOI right now. So anyway, while that is happening, I will I'll circle back with you either in a couple hours or in tomorrow. You'll hear from me. All right, big bro.
Before we hang up, I just want to say real quickly, a couple days ago, somebody called me and I recognized the voice from a month ago when I had called Amazon and didn't get a package. And the guy who helped me. And the reason I recognized his voice is because a lot of people, the outsourced calls are from, Indonesia, Philippines and stuff. But this guy was from the Caribbean and we had a nice conversation. He was really helpful. The same guy called me. He told me he was calling from Amazon about, and the reason I'm saying this is because I had talked to him about Bitcoin. We had talked when I called Amazon, this guy and I talked and I told him, I was trying to be helpful and told him about Bitcoin. And this guy took all my information and he was an Amazon employee and called me back and tried to scam me. And
What?
Yeah, and so I called and I said to him, and I knew it was a scam for a bunch of reasons, but I told him I wasn't going to give him any information, but that he would tell me. And I was kind of a little bit trusting him because he was so cool. He was nice when we were on the phone. He helped me. And I knew he was from Amazon. But a couple things. One, he kept saying, "You're the one that has Bitcoin, right? You're the one that has Bitcoin."
Oh, no.
He said, "You told me to go to this guy Hope's room on Clubhouse, remember?" And
Yeah.
I said yes, because he was asking if he could call me for information on Bitcoin. And I said Clubhouse has a lot of great rooms, even a basics room. And so the guy called and tried to scam me, tried to get me to give him my information, which I didn't. And I said to him, "How come your number doesn't say Amazon?" And he's like, "Oh, because I'm in a different department. It's the accounts department." And it was a fake number, Anyways, I also asked him if I could speak to the supervisor to say thank you for his help.
That's right.
Because he was saying that there was a pre-authorized iPhone charge. That's a common scam. But he was trying to get me to give my information. And so I called Amazon and they said 100% it was not. It was someone from Amazon, but it was not an Amazon call, and he was trying to scam me. And they have all the calls recorded, so they were able to find him from the emails that they send after the call. But anyways, I made a big mistake because I tell everybody about Bitcoin. I tell everybody I invest in Bitcoin, and I want to help people. I love the way you help people. But maybe I need to be a little bit more selective about who I share that information with.
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead.
General for everybody, and hopefully it's gotta be maybe something we need to talk to the developers on Clubhouse because I've actually seen scammers in this room that contacted me, and I remember hitting you. I think it was like Saturday or Friday night, something like that. And I first saw the scammers on Instagram and stuff like that. But it's got to be a way we can maybe secure this room or just in general for everybody know who you speak to Bitcoin about because that is a major trigger across any social media or what have you for scammers to try to infiltrate your phones, your conversations and everything. So just something food for thought, something we can all work on together or but definitely that word Bitcoin is definitely a trigger for
it's a trigger for scammers because they know this is money. And again, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, money's the root of all evil, right? So I'm seeing a ramp up. In fact, I'm stopping. I'm not going to engage in any kind of Bitcoin conversations with strangers. It's not going to happen. I'm just stopping that because one, my life is too precious. And life in general is too precious, and I want all you guys to remain safe. So we got to keep this a little close to the chest, because as the price goes up, even that's why I tell you guys, dollar cost average, stack your Satoshis, because as the price goes up, you guys are going to be having Picassos, even a piece of a Picasso. Get out of here. Just understand what you guys are going to have. I'm telling you, $400 is a million Satoshis right now, $450. You want to have that million. Social Security is not going to do it for you guys. You got to take your investments and savings seriously. Another 10, 15 years, and trust me, that's going to go quick like a snap of a finger. As I remember being in Newark, New Jersey, when I first discovered the power of Bitcoin. I remember, I was building servers, and I remember just saying, my goodness,